welcome back to what I'm calling This Week in WWE because it's been a busy week out there and we got to get caught up on a ton of fallout from the first ever WrestlePalooza on ESPN. But if this is your first time here, please do us a solid and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for our mascot, Frexy. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. She does love the attention, Nika.
She does.
We had our first Raw after the WrestlePalooza on ESPN. And this episode was actually a lot different than I had anticipated. Mm-hmm. You know, I was like, oh, we're going to have a lot of fallout from all the matches that were on WrestlePalooza. And yet it seems like we're getting actually a lot of new narrative.
Oh, that's good.
You know, like, yeah, it is good. It felt refreshing to me in a sense. Like, I felt like the product had gotten stale in between the Paris and the build up to the WrestlePalooza. And I felt like the WrestlePalooza event itself fell short. ESPN agreed. You know, I'm not the only one saying it. ESPN is saying it.
Yeah, they do.
They
graded themselves as a C.
Absolutely. So I felt like this was a really good tone setter for some new direction in WWE. I think it's been missing this. It's felt starved for this a little bit.
Maybe they got new writers. Or the writers got better.
I guess, you know, it's like a new season, fall.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
It's changing. Maybe it changes with the seasons. Who knows?
Who knows?
We haven't been following this very long, which leads me to my first point is this is one of those times. We have the disclaimer now at the beginning of our videos because I didn't want to keep saying it every time. But this is one of those times where I think it's important to point out that we started watching wrestling at the Royal Rumble this year. And we just kind of started, let's make a video about it or two, and like it seemed like people liked it, so we're like, we like it, let's keep talking about it.
Sure.
Turns out we're pretty good at predicting the matches and stuff from time to time. We have a better win record than losses.
We do
in predicting events. So I want to start with that, but also we've never seen the Crown Jewel event before, and so we had no idea that. Well, for starters, this has a whole history of having been in Saudi Arabia previously, the Crown Jewel event. Last year, it moved to Australia, and it became this new thing where you have champion versus champion.
So this is a new thing.
It is, and so I didn't really know that.
Okay.
And so even after WrestlePalooza the other night on ESPN, they were showing Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins like standing face to face with their titles over each other. I didn't even realize at that point that this was already like kind of a known matchup that was going to happen. So my apologies for that. I didn't know, but it's not a shame thing. You know, like that's why you tune in to the Kenikkasports show, because we keep it real here. We keep it authentic. We don't try to lie or hide anything. Like we admit
mistakes.
what we are.
Yeah.
We own our mistakes, and we're going to have some exciting news about that coming soon. I promise you. And you're going to love it. If you love finding mistakes, you're going to love it. So right away on Raw on Monday night, we get Cody Rhodes coming out, which is different because he's normally on the SmackDown brand. And shortly after he came out, he was rudely interrupted by, of course, Seth freaking Rollins. And not alone. Seth Rollins was with the wise man and his muscle, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. He was not with his wife, Becky Lynch. They got into the ring with each other. They discussed a little bit of history with each other. You know, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, I think, have mutual respect for each other as characters at this point on the program. So it was a little interesting dynamic that we don't get to see too often.
Sure.
Even though Cody respects Seth, he also recognizes, though, that he's maybe taken some avenues to get to where he's gotten to that Cody Rhodes himself wouldn't take, or at least this iteration of Cody Rhodes wouldn't take. He didn't sell his soul to The Rock like maybe Seth Rollins has sold his soul to the wise man right now. Nevertheless, Seth freaking Rollins has never defeated Cody Rhodes.
Wow, that's interesting.
He's 0-3 against him.
So they fought 3 times, and none of them was a win for him. Okay.
So, that's interesting.
That's similar as Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
It is a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Different belt. But
we also have we had Cody asking Seth, "Is this going to be a one-on-one matchup?" You know, and kind of pointing at the muscle, hinting at like, hey, I've been watching what's been happening week after week after week on Raw all summer long. And are you going to beat me down in the ring basically with all these extra guys? You know, because there's nothing on the line here. This isn't a title match. This is a ring. You win a ring that you can wear on your finger.
That's it. That's the prize.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. But it's a nice prize.
Absolutely. No knocking. Absolutely. But no belts will exchange hands.
Correct. You know, and so that's another point that we got to talk about. But this is interesting because Cody Rhodes calling Seth Rollins out for this means that Seth Rollins is developing a reputation around wrestling and around at least in the narrative, that he is sort of this champion that cannot go at it alone.
I see.
You know what I mean?
He needs a backup.
Kind of. I feel like when you have the other, shows champion showing up on your show and pointing out that like, hey, you've kind of cut some corners to get where you're at.
Or is it Cody just jealous that he doesn't have a backup?
He doesn't have a posse.
Or he doesn't have a posse.
He does not. He doesn't have a group, the Vision.
He doesn't have a groupies.
They both have great entrance musics, though, in their own way. So that I'm going to call a draw. Both of them are up there for me. Look, I'm going to hold off on predicting anything for this matchup because I want to see what the narrative buildup for this is going to be. They have a couple weeks to work with, and we don't get to see these two too often with each other. Are we going to see Cody on Raw more in the next couple weeks, or Seth show up on SmackDown at all to cross promote and more of that kind of thing? And then, of course, they're going to be in Japan and they're going to be in Australia at some point. And so we're going to have, I think this event, by the way, is on at like 5 a.m.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, perfect. That's
morning.
when we get up.
Woo.
So I'm excited about that. We might do a live reaction right afterwards.
So I got a little question. So
ask away.
If Seth has his wife by his side, is Cody's wife going to show up too?
Oh, I don't know. We haven't seen them go that meta with the storyline yet.
Not yet.
Like Seth and Becky, obviously being both entertainers on the program, it works out easier.
Sure.
But we haven't seen Cody's wife get involved. I mean, Becky does have a habit of insulting the male opponent of her husband, her husband.
Hot husband.
Her hot husband, sorry. Not just the only one saying it. Other people are saying it.
Sports Illustrated is saying it.
I wonder if they'll remember when Jake Arrieta did that nude portrait in the ESPN swimsuit edition or whatever.
Like 10 years ago?
Yeah. Is there a WWE magazine going to come out now? Like the swimsuit edition of WWE ESPN crossover?
Maybe.
I want to see it.
All right, let's get it on.
Man, I don't think they fully realize what's going to happen to the brand yet. You got to research these things before you buy them, folks. This is like Universal Records buying Marilyn Manson in the 90s and then being like, wait,
what did
I just buy? Is this what we represent now? All right. One last thing before we move on here. Where was CM Punk and AJ Lee on Monday night? I wanted to see them gloating about their victory. Nowhere to be found. I guess they had too good of a celebration the night Saturday before, huh?
They were hangover.
Hangover City. They're kind of like all these baseball teams showing up the day after they clinch right now. It's like, sorry.
We got a game to play? What?
Game?
What?
Hey, Skip, you mind if I sit this one out today? I had a little too much tequila last night. Oh,
we signed you off with the flu.
Oh, you got booster on the way. All right. I was just curious why we didn't see them. That was such a storyline that was there and then gone again. No Becky Lynch either on Raw, as far as I remember, right?
They got a recovery day.
Take a recovery day. We'll hopefully see everyone back in action. I mean, we don't have that long before Australia, and we'll talk about that in a second. I want to talk about the other big women's matchup in Australia because we have the new women's world champion, Stephanie Vaquer. Of course, we're so excited for her still and happy about this development. I think it's the best next thing that could have happened after Naomi had to vacate because I wanted a long Naomi title run. So
now do you think Stephanie's going to be the reigning champ for a while? I hope so.
I hope so. I want to say a couple things, but I want to talk about this at the end of this, actually, because we don't know who Stephanie's fighting yet.
We do not.
She will be fighting the winner of this big triple threat matchup that's happening tomorrow night on SmackDown. And it is going to be Tiffany Stratton against Jade Cargill again, and now Nia Jax, who's gotten involved in their little storyline. Because it was Tiffany and Jade. Jade had won Queen of the Ring and earned the right to face Tiffany.
And then she lost it.
She lost at SummerSlam. Their feud did not directly end there, though. And then Nia Jax kind of started to get involved. So we have some interesting dynamics. But bottom line is we have this big matchup tomorrow night to figure out who Stephanie's going to face. And as the crown jewel has been explained to me as being the best of the best, Nika, it's a chance to showcase title, well, not title for title, but champion against champion. And they get this ring again, and the women have the same opportunity. So for me, it's got to be Tiffany, right?
Absolutely. I'm going with Tiffany for this one as well.
That's my prediction. I'm predicting Tiffany to win this triple threat match because of the fact that I think Tiffany Stratton against Stephanie Vaquer right now will print money. Like,
no doubt.
You have no problems like packing the stadium, selling ESPN, whatever you're trying to do right now with marketing and money. Like, Stephanie Vaquer against Tiffany Stratton will sell. Seth Rollins against Cody Rhodes is going to sell right now. So it's kind of cool in that regard. I'll give it to that. And it's a great opportunity marketing wise year after year after year, not just this year.
And the fallout out of that, it doesn't jeopardize anybody else's. You know, they
Correct.
still can go ahead with the storylines between Nia Jax and Jade fighting for the championship.
Yeah, I have a feeling
changes.
that they're due to get into it with each other a little bit more, maybe as a storyline going forward, because I just don't see any one of them being a replacement for Tiffany at this event right now, today.
No, I don't either.
Sorry. And I also want to say this. I've done a 180 on Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time. I'm on board. I've become a member of the fan club.
Yeah, I think it was that we haven't seen enough of her because we just heard her promos, but not her wrestling.
She used to annoy me because I think she comes across at first a little ditzy. Not to be mean. It's just her personality. But I've become a fan, and I do love her intro music when it hits.
She has a great intro music.
Especially the first 5 seconds, the whole hook.
And she's really good on the mic. And the Tiffy time, it's great. Yeah. It's a catchy tune. You can't deny that.
I cannot. And I just want to say I've been won over. I'm a fan. She needs to work on her pitching before she goes to the Mets game again and throws out the first pitch. But she can call me. I can give you some pointers on how to throw a baseball for sure. I have no desire to learn any wrestling moves, though, in trade. So
I do.
Oh, yeah. Pass them on to Nika, please. All right. Well, most importantly, Tiffany Stratton can wrestle. And I think that's one of the things that's won me over the most about her. And Stephanie Vaquer can also wrestle. And so I am excited for this matchup. I think it's going to be awesome entertainment. And I'm excited to see what they bring to their ring experience.
I do too. I'm just wondering who's going to interfere.
No one. I feel like this is going to be like the same thing with Seth and Cody. I think Cody calling out Seth, not to get back on that for a second, but him calling him out and saying like, no one's gonna or like, who else am I gonna be fighting that night? I think that is a sign that maybe Seth will go at it alone. We wondered. I've been challenging Seth to do this as a character, and now Cody Rhodes has done the same, and so I think it's an opportunity again for the writers to give Seth a clean victory for once. And same thing on the women's side. There's no reason for anyone to interfere in this matchup. There's nothing on the line.
No, there isn't. There isn't. I'm just for a bigger spectacle, whether there's going to somebody be by the ringside.
Let's have that conversation really quick because we've gotten the two main events out of the way here. That's 4 championship belts at a premium live event that are not going to be on the line.
Correct.
And does that make this event weaker in your mind as far as like shock value, surprise, drama that can come out of it? You know, it seems like we always have an element of surprise or some kind of unknown hanging in the balance, that WWE can always do the unexpected, so to speak. And yet with this, it's more like, is that what the unexpected is? Just having a straight up matches for a change? Is that?
It's a great promo for your other shows to promote the top dogs on both sides.
Of course, yes.
And it promotes the show, promotes the traveling circus.
Yeah. It's the best of the best, as we keep saying. I get it.
It's a little
but
gimmicky,
I'm just pointing out the fact that now none of these titles can therefore change hands, and that's the 4 top titles in the business. It doesn't mean we can't have a women's tag team match, men's intercontinental match, women's intercontinental match. It doesn't mean we can't have any of these things, but I'm just wondering if not having one of the top 4 belts even on the line is enough.
If you put on a good show, at the end of the day, nobody's going to care.
I hope they put on a good wrestling performance and show off like what we're all here for in the first place originally, and use the opportunity of maybe no drama, no interference, no titles changing as an opportunity to just have some damn good matches and show the best of the best in that regards as well.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the rest of the storylines that are kind of hanging in the balance here as we build up to this crown jewel event. We got a John Cena Greatest Hits Tour matchup announcement, but before we talk about it, go check out this Logan Paul reaction video on social media to the John Cena Brock Lesnar matchup. That is fascinating stuff, and it's just fun to watch him like kind of be surprised as well. It makes me believe that they don't all know like each other's storylines ahead of time or anything like that. This seemed like a genuine reaction on his part, and he also seemed to be enjoying his vacation since Paris, because I don't think we've really seen him much since then.
We have not.
Funny stuff.
Yeah.
But Logan Paul, go check out that reaction video. I enjoyed it. But now John Cena took to social media the other day and basically threw a series of tweets, Cena versus Styles hashtag. Thoughts? WWE Raw. Then he says, I do not choose my opponents, but I, even through tough times, always listen to the fans. AJ Styles, are you listening? Better yet, Triple H, are you listening? Cena versus Styles. So John Cena took to the interwebs, to the airwaves of
to find an opponent?
X-Files, and the fans have chosen AJ Styles for John Cena's next stop on the Greatest Hits Tour. This is fresh off of his obliteration at the hands of Brock Lesnar. John Cena, like he says, even through tough times, I think that's what he's definitely referring to here, right? He got his ass beaten by Brock Lesnar, and that seems unresolved, Nika.
Very much so.
Yet here we are getting this like matchup out of nowhere announced. I feel like this is another attempt at WWE to use John Cena's retirement tour as an opportunity to bolster the career of someone else on their roster. We talked about this being the case with Logan Paul, and I think this is happening now with AJ Styles. I mean, Cena planted the idea from the beginning. It's not like he said, who should I fight next? And they all said AJ Styles. He wrote, should I fight AJ Styles next?
Yes.
And that's what now we're getting. So
well, we heard it from the Unreal Netflix series that Cena is in charge. Who is he gonna fight at the end? Because it's his tour.
Yeah,
his greatest hits.
Absolutely, I agree. He has some say in it, and like I think it's fun that he's taking the initiative to, I guess, have matchups with people that he hasn't had matchups with. Because it gives good variety and it bolsters the profile of those other people. Just to have their faces against each other on a poster one time.
Maybe that will benefit AJ Styles, really.
Yeah, he needs it. You know, he got into the storyline with Dirty Dominic over the summer, but that's kind of feels like it's ended now.
Yeah, it fizzled out.
All right, speaking of unresolved, we have other developing stories, Nika. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have been sprayed, I say, with some kind of green toxic mutagen. I don't know what it is from Asuka, But Asuka unveiling this like mist, some green mist. She applied it on Rhea Ripley. Rhea was rubbing her eyes and panicking, and like no word if she's gotten it off yet, because it was like stained on her, as you can see. Damn. This was the headline though coming out of Raw. This was the main event. The women get the showcase for a change, and I do like to point that out. I do like that. But are we getting a Rhea EO versus the Kabuki Warriors in Australia, do you think?
Tag team?
Yeah, because we are not going to get Rhea Ripley for the championship, as we know.
Not.
So
Maybe.
I feel like this is the way the storyline is going, and I feel like this is what and this is going to play a part in the Japanese tour as well. Like, because all three of these women being from Japan, I'm talking about Kairi Sane, I'm talking about Asuka, I'm talking about Io Sky, and then Rhea Ripley being from Australia. Like, those two countries involve all four women. So,
yeah, I wouldn't mind having a tag team between these four.
I predict that will be a matchup on that Crown Jewel card, because we are going to need to fill it up with some drama. And
definitely.
All right. Speaking of drama, is Jey Uso turning heel, Nika? We've been talking about this direction for a half minute, and I think that half minute has now turned into a hot minute, because
he hasn't turned.
He had this argument with his brother on Raw as they were arriving, and then Jimmy had a run-in with Cody Rhodes backstage and asked if Cody would go have a minute with Jay, which he did. And so they had a little conversation about like, hey, man, I know like when you lose the championship, it can do strange things to your head, and I'm here if you need me kind of speech from Cody to Jey Uso. And Jey Uso was like, yeah, we cool, Us. Yeah, it's cool. Meanwhile, at the end of the show, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are proceeding to beat the hell out of LA Knight after they interfered in a matchup between Jey Uso and LA Knight. So Jey Uso wanted this matchup because he felt like LA Knight cost them their opportunity at WrestlePalooza against the Vision. Jimmy kind of disagreed. That's what their argument was about. Nevertheless, Jay wanted to fight LA Knight because he was the guest referee in that matchup, and he blamed him for them losing by that much. Anyways, all right, that should bring you up to speed in case you missed it. But back to the message at hand. The Vision interferes in their one-on-one matchup because, of course, they did, and then they decide to start beating on LA Knight, and Jey Uso says like, "I'm out of here, Us."
I'm out.
Says peace out. Jimmy Uso comes out and says, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, we don't leave people at the hands of the Vision. Like, period. Like, that's not right. I don't care how you feel about LA Knight right now. Like, letting a man get beat down by these two idiots, like, we don't do that. And Jey Uso says, F it, bro. I'm out of here. And he leaves, and Jimmy Uso goes solo back down to the ring with a chair in hand to save his,
buddy?
I guess, colleague, buddy, LA Knight. He's not family, but they're friends. So it's a tough spot that Jey Uso has put his brother in. And long story short, it's just weird. I feel like there's a lot of elements here at play between the argument at the beginning, the Cody Rhodes speech, and then Jay still not like doing the right thing, I guess, in the eyes of his brother at least. So I'm curious where this is all going, like, and if they're going to give him a bigger heel push or not.
This reminds me of the Bailey situation.
It does. Jey Uso is like caught in the middle, I think, of, probably his own wants and desires as a world champion, former world champion. But yeah, and family, and wanting to do, I guess, he still is popular with the fans and the kids. And so it's a tough thing for me to see them following through like full heel with him, but
maybe
they are like kind of walking this tense line at the moment, and maybe making you just think, the only thing is like they always do the unexpected at some point, and I feel like he will turn bad at some point in the future for a little minute, like Cena did, or like whoever, like I don't know, but nevertheless, this is happening, and we'll wait and see if the brothers Uso stay aligned here through family, or if that ending of Raw was like the beginning of a more permanent split here, at least on feelings towards LA Knight. All right. Well, speaking of breaking up, the last thing we got to talk about is the Judgment Day, because there's drama in the Judgment Day, Nika, as we saw Rusev take on JD McDonough. He was accompanied to ringside by the AAA Mega Champion and the Men's Intercontinental Champion, Dominic Dirty Dom Mysterio. And this matchup was only interesting in its closing moments because Rusev had the submission hold on JD McDonough for the victory, and Finn Balor had to come down to ringside to help interfere and break up the madness. And they were both kind of left wondering with Dom, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why aren't you helping our brother at the hands of this big, mean dude, Rusev?
Doesn't Dominic have a fight with Rusev coming up?
Well, Rusev did challenge him to the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
So you think that's what he's playing it up with? Like, I don't want to get him more angry with me, or I don't know. I guess I feel like this is like the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day. At least Dirty Dom's
role.
In it,
yeah.
You know, and I don't know if the group itself is gonna be able to stay together. Finn Balor was felt like he was in control of the situation when he brought Roxanne in sneakily earlier this year, and didn't really cast Liv out, but then used it as an excuse to make her co-champion with Raquel when Liv got legitimately injured. And we still don't know how her return is going to play into all of this and that. Mm-hmm. And her and Dom are a thing. They still are. She still tweets all the time about him. And we haven't seen them together in months, sadly, because of this real legit injury and the shoulder surgery that she needed. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, I have to feel like this might be the beginning of the end, because Liv Morgan's not going to be out forever. And when she returns, I don't see her splitting up with Dom.
Unlikely.
I feel like they're like a WWE couple for life. I don't know.
No, I don't know about that, but I know there's going to be some friction when she comes back with the Judgment Day.
And there's already friction now with them and Dom. So are they just starting to lay the groundwork for that? That's what I'm asking.
Maybe.
And I just thought it was worth mentioning.
That's great if they do, because that creates more drama or
absolutely. And there's got to be jealousy with Dom winning both titles now and carrying around two pieces of hardware and probably feeling like he's walking on water.
Right, but the Judgment Day women tag team lost the titles.
They did.
So
they're hardwareless now. The men have theirs, but the women do not. So they're a little bit lighter. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit heavier.
And that's something Liv might have a bone with to pick.
She might. She might say, you guys took your eyes off
the prize. Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us up to speed before SmackDown, and it should be a great show because we do have that WWE Women's Championship triple threat match. I'm really excited to see how all that plays out, and we will be reacting to all of it right here on the Kenikka Sports Show. Keep it with us for all the latest in the ring and behind-the-scenes coverage of WWE World Wrestling Entertainment.